Hey everybody, welcome to the DMV Future Fighters live stream. This is Alexander Masood, and I'm going to be your host for tonight's event. And tonight, let's do the quick sound off. We've got our man, Zach Zag, the one, the only Zach Zag. Say hi to the people. Zach.
What was that?
I said say hi.
Oh, what's up?
The master of the dungeon. And then we've got the man who draws the right card just in time, Justin G, a man who deserves no introduction. He's won 2 regional championships back to back, and he has a lot of stuff happening in the background.
Come and talk to me, Monet. How you doing?
I'm sorry, I opened up my car door. I'm sorry on my laptop in the parking lot of Happy Hour. I'm sorry, guys. I have issues in life.
Anyway, the Master of Darkness is on his way to another Continental Championship. Justin G.
Yes, and I'm very bothered that another Darkness Dragon World player made it. It's bittersweet, actually, because now I have to worry about Darkness Dragon World. But on the upside, now, more than likely, Darkness Dragon World can take it.
All right, that's always good to hear. And then last but not least, we have Brian the Man, Brian Ashbrook.
Yo.
Yep, his big claim to fame is the fact that he's the one who always beats Justin in locals.
I will kill both of you this week. I will kill you so badly.
And we seem to be missing the Juan and only Juan Mango, so we're going to get started without him.
Yeah, we'll probably just do our normal tournament recap, and hopefully he comes. He said he was going to be here, so...
Yeah, he's our guest of honor. You could say he's the chosen one.
The chosen one.
Oh my god. Alright, I have the deck list here. I don't have the first place, though.
You could probably find the first place by going to the Team Budget Ein. I know Levi's in our chat right now, so if he wanted to post the link, or try and post the link to his YouTube channel, Team Budget Ein, or you can try and look up Levy. I can't say your last name. Or
Levy Lalunde.
I can't say his name, but he does have a profile on the channel that you guys can check out if you're interested. I'll put a link down below after the stream is done, so we can give him the links he deserves for taking first place in Houston.
Yeah, we're really proud of him. I want to give lots of reps to him. So what decks topped in Houston, Brand the Man?
So we have Hero World, Superheroes, and Dragon Knights, which the guy wanted it to be called Gauge Knights, because that's all it does is gauge.
Dragon Knights are really good at that anyway, because they got that new guy that rests when he comes in if you have another Dragon Knight.
I wasn't playing that one.
Was he using Linus to build gauge?
Yeah.
We can let you go over the list if you have it written down somewhere.
Yeah, I wrote them both down.
Alrighty, let's hear them.
Alright, for the second place, there's no size zeros for the Hero World one. Size 1's 2 Steel Barrier, only 2 Mock Bravers, which that was surprising, 2 Heroic Bladers, 3 Project Gunders, and 3 Einders. For size 2's, only 1 Prominence Burst, I thought that was kind of weird, 2 Road Blader, 2 Decker Drum, 4 Rampage Sonic, and then 4 E-Launch Drum.
I mean, that's the standard superhero stuff, is just getting I don't know, I'll wait for you to get to the spells.
And we got size 3s, the 3 Final Mode, and then a Burn Nova. Apparently everyone in this whole regional was just Burn Nova in every game.
I mean,
that's all I keep hearing.
I quickly learned after playing Juan and his dumb 5th Omnis that I thought I was going to win. I really did. And then he Burn Nova'd me. And I was at 1 and he was at 1. But he had triple attack.
Yeah, Burn Nova is kind of that new card that just kind of steals games.
He does.
A little bit.
Yep. It's literally an I'm still alive with legs.
It's literally a card that says, you thought you were going to win, didn't you?
You thought.
That impact was cute, but GG, bro.
Or people trying to jump the final phase, drum impact. Oh, wait.
Nope.
Pop goes the weasel.
more or less the standard spells. We got 4 Hyper Energies, 4 I've seen through your moves, 3 Arduous Trainings, 3 Justice Will Prevail, and then 3 It's Here a New Suit. 2 Or So the Dream I Had Went. 2 It's About Time I Get Serious, and only 1 Call Super Machine.
I mean, you probably don't even need to run it. He probably just kind of runs it for the final mode, maybe, the deck thinning.
I was just kind of surprised at his numbers. Like, there's a lot of 2-ofs and 1-ofs. Well, not really a lot of 1-ofs, but there's like the 1 Prominence Burst and then the 1 Call Super Machine is really weird to me.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have run Called My Super Machine at all, but...
Well, I mean, his target primarily is going to be, what, Hyper and Still Barrier?
Yeah, Hyper Energy, obviously, for that deck, because, I mean, you have Final Mode and all the gauge stuff to try and, every turn, try and pop, or I probably would have ran a 4th Arduous Training just to get that extra crit and penetrate, like, with with a 3 crit dude and E-Launch Drum. That's really annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also gave me his side deck. He sided 3 Barbed Wires, pretty obvious why. Another Mock Braver, 2 Immortal Spirits, 2 Buddy Police Decker Drum, or another So I Had the Dream Went, and a Tenbu.
Tenbu is always a good choice.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I mean, Timbu is great for rush decks.
You tried to rush me? Pop.
Yeah, pop everything. I actually did that this past Sunday. Somebody rushed me with Crimson Fist. I just blew everything. So it was like I blew half of his hand in one turn.
So that was the second place deck, right?
Yeah, the second place superheroes.
Did he have any main boarded like item hate?
Nope.
Said
Nothing.
he didn't need it because Hero World is busted.
That's true.
It is not.
I was playing you guys with my
Literally
superhero
go.
deck.
Transform into anything. E-Launch Drum. Now I'll rape you.
Not exactly. It's consensual. You agreed to sit down and play me.
Well, yeah, like, I built a deck similar to that a couple weeks ago. I remember it's like if I can't kill you like within the first 2 turns, I'm doing something wrong.
Generally speaking, yeah.
It's really,
Yeah.
it's just really annoying.
I was kind of surprised that there was no impacts at all in this deck.
Yeah, that was like one of the only decks that I've never lost to Kazarian with. Like, it was literally like, okay, Kazarian starts, my turn. Play a Q5, transform into Dizium, E-Launch Drum, play a random size 1, enter battle. GG. It was just literally nothing he could do. Like every round. I start, random Q5, poke for 2. Their turn, play Kazarian. Back to my turn, I took X amount of damage. Play E-Launch Drum. Transform into Dizium. Link attack. Can't stop it. Stand back up. Game. It's like superheroes are just really nasty.
They're super
God,
aggressive.
less barbed wire.
Yeah.
They're nice because they can be aggressive while having the transform, and then like the new suits or the counterattack stuff that kind of just it can net you defense. But at the same time, my deck kept falling through on defense. 'Cause I even was running new suit and the counterattack card. It still didn't do nothing for me.
Yeah, well, the problem is decks like that, because they focus so heavily on offense, generally run out of steam very quickly. So
Yeah.
You've played out your hand. If you don't kill them, you're generally not left with a lot of defensive plays. And if you are, all you have left in your hand is defense. So if they board wipe you, you're not doing much more.
Well, it's for the hero deck, I guess for the hero matchup. So that deck, we keep saying that deck got second, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I don't know if you have Levi's deck build, but from my understanding, the thing that took the MVP of the day was item hate. The fact I don't remember what the deep impact is for you, Justin, but it destroys items, right?
Yes,
And
it's
then
pay
puts
one
itself
life.
into the...
Yeah, it's grudge. Basically, you pay 1 life and destroy an item on the field, and either put that card into the soul of your monster or into the gauge, which is really good because it's super conditional and it gives you options.
Yeah, from the sounds of it, of course that card was super hate on this superhero matchup because first of all, your cards don't have the added benefit of being Kaiserion or the ultimate card burn that we were hearing about because they're just super susceptible to just being removed. I mean, combine that with the barbed wire that he had sideboarded, that he's going to totally shut down Hero World.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that surprised me, was him not running Death Talika, because Talika can negate the attacks, right? That's one of his two abilities.
Yeah.
And that would be super clutch against some of these Hero World matchups if he's having trouble with them still.
Yeah, I really don't know what he was doing with his deck list. It looked like it was Omni, and then it's like every typical other like deep related monster. But I mean, his deck list was really unique to me because it was so different than mine, and I'd never seen anybody play deep that way, with it still being like size 3 heavy.
Yeah, I mean, I think a good lesson is kind of the whole, he ran the death with that dragon that gives him 2 gauge for 1 life. I don't know if that would help you out at all either.
I mean, personally, I don't run it just because you pay life for so much other stuff like Countdown, your Buddy Monster in that build, and then with the negate to the world, it's like you don't want to take too much damage just because spell negates do exist, and Darkness Dragon World has no way around it. So it's like when I'm staring down some stuff like Zeon, it's not much you could do against Zeon other than like Dark Energy or Devil Stigma. But if you're playing Raging Spirits and they're running Zeon, it's not much that you could do at all because they have a spell null.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like the deck list. It's not how I would have played it, but I definitely would have ran Talika, because Talika can take out a lot of cards in this game, and Talika serves as like a nullifier for about like 1 or 2 turns, depending on how you build the deck.
Right. And plus, at the end of it all, you can just Devil Stigma it away to try and get your refund for like a Goku Mangayo or something.
Yeah, exactly. And then you still have your buddy card, and then it's like on top of that, with playing Talika, you don't have to play anything else from hand because he handles everything period. But it's like it seemed like his deck was built to hate on everything, because it literally like everything in his deck just took out everything. Like he ran the death damages inside main deck. 3 death grips, 2 barbed wire, 2 of the item destruction impact. It's like his deck was just built to just wreck his entire opponent's field and like wait him out. Because he also the one thing that I really found odd too was running 4 Abyss Symphony. Because I know that we can life break faster now, but that Abyss Symphony still eats up 1 of your gauge a turn. But I guess that's why he also ran Death Wizard Dragon, at 3.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't play the sorcery, the 100 Demon Sorcery like you to just sack your field, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's probably easy reason why, because you're paying life, so it's probably easy to manipulate yourself to around 6 or so, especially with his wizard to get to 6.
Yeah, that's a personal pitfall of my own. It's like I'm so aggressive, I just want to rush the victory. So I'll kill off anything just to try to win that turn.
Well, I mean, at some point, that's not a weakness as much as it's just a play style.
True.
And we all know that's why you lose, Justin.
Yes, as anyone who's ever played against Armor Knights or, against Bran the Man, they know that, well, if you don't kill him on your big turn, you will die.
Yeah.
Because Iblis.
I hate that card. It's so cheap and good.
Why can't Hero World get an Iblis?
Because you have better everything else.
That's some Dragon World greed talking right there. You don't deserve that kind of greed.
Well, you can keep your Iblis. I have Grey Bard. I can literally go Grey Bard, Devil Stigma, Grey Bard.
That was still some bullshit, and you know it.
Those are the turns he lives for.
Just to see the look on my opponent's face.
Yeah, that's probably the best. I mean, the best is when you Grey Bard and Ozzy Dahaka and you like take 4 and you're like, oh god.
I actually did that to somebody in regionals. It was Sean Blackman, but he played Dark Energy on Ozzy. I was like, oh. Now I have to actually attack it.
Oh my god.
That would
But
have been beautiful.
it's like, if he didn't have that dark energy, I would have won that turn. I think that was my only loss that regional.
Alright, well, should we move on to the third place?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
You said it was the Gauge Knights.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, no size zeros. Size ones. 4 Lennis.
Which one's
Four-
that? I don't
Lennis,
know.
Move, build, engage.
yeah. When you have another Dragonite in the field and it moves, you gauge a card.
No,
Okay.
when you have another Dragonite in the field, it gains move. Then if it does move, you gain a
Okay.
gauge. So if you give a move through other means and it moves, it still builds a gauge.
Right. That's.
Mhm.
I think I remember seeing that card get played.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, I played against somebody that actually used that. He was really good. He made top 8 in the last regional in New
Shut up,
York.
Justin.
It was Chris Snow. You said what?
I said shut up.
Shut up, you're drunk.
I
Yeah.
apologize.
Shut up!
Hey, look, guys. I could go back
Look
and
here,
get some more
Justin.
drinks.
I'm trying to say this deck list. Don't make me come over there.
Justin's feeling no pain. He wouldn't
Shut
even mind an list.
Yeah, 4 Tomoe, I swear to God.
How many
Yeah.
Tomoe?
4.
Okay.
You know which one's Tomoe, right, Deck?
Yeah, the pay a gauge, draw a card if you have a Dragonite once per turn, basically.
Yeah, Bernie's.
And we have the 4 El Quixote,
Pretty standard.
and then 3 Red Baron. He said he didn't like Red Baron in the deck, and he's
You
probably
kinda-
going to end up taking it out.
He's kind of weak. He's just the 4-1.
Yeah, I'm going to say Red Baron kind of needs to come out of that build. Moving on.
That's it for size 1. Size 2, there's only 8, which I don't really like. I think he should run more. We got 4 Dragonite Kojiro. I love that card. It's amazing.
That's the 100 Demon mover with Soul Guard, right?
No.
Yep.
Wait,
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
Kojiro.
I'm thinking of Pissarro, the one you rested.
Yeah, that's the one you rest and you draw a card. And then we have 4 Hartman.
Which one's Hartman?
He's the 5/2/5 with move.
Oh, he doesn't play like Iwamoto or I don't know. If Dragonites kind of get a lot. If it's Gauge Knights, you could try and burn them down with that one weird dude.
Yeah.
Bounce them and discard one to.
No, Riddell
Deal
is bad.
It's. I mean, Dragonites. I mean, with Dragon Night they can draw ridiculously. I can only imagine what regular Dragonites they really don't have any other options.
Well, they don't have all the Ancient World draws, though.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they still have they have the Tomoe, they have Pissarro. Those already draw you cards. They have the Gauge dude, so you can automatically play like Night Counter.
Well, you don't really. Dragonites actually don't like Pissarro, because
Yeah.
Dragonite Rest is kind of bad. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just too used to Dragon Night because you could rest them, draw a card, then sack them for Ozzy.
Yeah.
And
Entire dynamic is different.
anyway, back to the list. He only has one size 3. Can you guess what that size 3 is?
Is it Napoleon?
No.
Fire Nova.
How?
And then
Uh,
we got the standard shield lineup: 4 green, 4 blue.
mhm.
And then we have 3 Drago Bonds and 3 Night Counters. As if for spells.
Wait, say that the 8 shields and then 3 and 3?
Yeah, 3 Drago Bond, 3 Night Counter.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And only 6 items, which I think he should have run just a few more. And then we got 2 Drago Anthem, the double attack one,
I
and
mean,
4 Hyperion.
yeah, I think it's bad that he just ran 6 items just because Dragonites draw a lot.
Well, I
So
mean,
it's like you
that's a good reason for only running 6, though.
Yeah,
The
but thing
problem is that the deck, since it's so focused on move, if you don't see an item, you lose out on a lot of that move potential. Like, there's no reason to have a move if you don't have a weapon.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's true.
true.
Do they have impacts in the deck too, or no?
Yes. So we got 3 Glorious Legacy, the one that you draw cards,
Okay.
and 3 Gargantua Punisher.
How many? 3?
3.
Okay.
So he was trying to cheese.
Well,
Apparently, all day he would cheese game 1 Gargantua Punisher and then just side it out.
I would do that. They start playing differently after they see that
yeah.
the first time.
Yeah, that's a mind game. That's actually really intelligent.
What was the side deck?
Let's see. 3 Barbed Wire, 3 Dragonic Destroy, 2 Dragonic Air Raid, and then 2 Ultimate Smash.
The Ultimate Smash, the one where you have 2 and a weapon, and then destroy everything.
Everything.
Everything. Except for set spells.
Okay. Yeah,
And they take 3 damage, and there's no life break cost, so you can do it early game.
that's what I was kind of expecting to go in when Punisher came out.
Yeah, you side out Punisher, you side that in, and that means they're being really careful to like shield your attacks really hard, and then you say lol, that's cute, say bye to your field.
Yeah, that's the one thing I hate about those kinds of impacts is that you have to have 2 Dragonites. So if your opponent's kind of like this weird size 3 center with heavy counter attack defensive cards, that card kind of becomes...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at that point, you literally just skip the final phase. Like, somebody's
I'm
coming
sorry. No, that's my friend's phone I'm tethering from.
Oh,
Hold
all
on.
right, but
Hey, I might have to go soon.
all right. Well, the thing is, when you're up against something like Omni with, or really heavy counterattack stuff, once you get the Ultimate Smash set up, you can literally just skip the final phase in Ultimate Smash. Whether they save Omni or not, they're still eating 3 damage.
You're not wrong.
I mean, I don't know if that I would skip right to final phase.
Because if you lose that formation, the impact is dead.
I mean, he's playing
I would
Dragobonds, though.
never skip the final phase. I watch people do it all the time and then get hit with something like Chillax.
Yeah, I would.
And I just be like, you idiot. All you had to do is swing 2 more times and then final phase. So, personally, I wouldn't.
Okay, so I mean, that's the top 3 decks right now.
Yeah, that's it.
That's a good recap. So, I mean, first, the recap, I guess, in general is first we had Deep, that was not a Death Talica Deep, so I guess it was a Control Grey Bar Deep.
Yeah, it was deep that was a little bit shallow.
It was deep with item hate, right? and if anything, to me, that just that sums up kind of the moral of the story. If you run you main deck item hate. You main deck item hate, you're probably going to have a pretty good matchup right now, because if anyone's taking the same kind of approach that Brand's taking right now, where he doesn't even play some of the Ace engine, so he's not protecting his items. So, I mean...
Blow it up! Do it!
Yeah.
Do it!
I would do it. I would do it.
I got 2 gauge. I'll just pick 1 gauge and equip another one.
Do it.
That's one of the things where I feel like Barbed Wire really shines because it's free. Like,
Yeah.
he can literally, why am I going to pay 2 gauge to blow up his item when he's literally just going to pay 1 gauge to replace it?
Yeah, I mean, and there's the other half of this is that, I mean, if people are still, I mean, the past, 3 or 4 regionals we saw Hero World, and more Hero World. And I assume half of that's because, it was meta, but I assume the other half was fanboy because everyone loves, Super Power Rangers and giant fighting robots. So, I mean, it's probably not unlikely that we'll continue to see the Hero World deck in full force.
Yeah.
Not just that, but there's, with main decking item hate, you have answers to not just Hero World, but a lot of other decks in the meta. Because, I mean, who legitimately doesn't use an item for something?
Yeah. I mean, I think almost every world can use an item now pretty effectively. I don't know that, a Seeger deck, they have a new weapon, though, don't they?
Yeah,
Yes,
they
they
have
do.
the Enma Fist.
Yeah.
They have a fist that lets them attack through a size 3 in their own center.
Yeah, so awesome.
That cannot be nullified if it attacks alone.
And then Legend World's got their stupid weapons, but Heroes got their weapons. Danger World's obviously got their weapons. Heroes get totally shut down. Dungeon would get shut down pretty easily too.
Yeah.
So I mean, Levi figured this out better than everyone else. That's why it's number 1. Super item hate.
Yeah, super item. I actually mean that now.
I think a lot of the moral of this story is that you have to be very responsive to the meta and look at what's really being played. I mean, you can't just build your deck to do one thing and you do your thing and you don't care about anyone else. You have to actually pay attention to what your opponent's doing. That's one of the things that makes Buddyfight so different from a game like Vanguard, where 9 times out of 10, you kind of just build your field and swing. Now, don't hate me. I don't want to get a lot of hate on this stream because I love Vanguard. Don't get me wrong.
I don't.
Yeah, me either. I just like Spike Brothers. Because I can ignore everything that my opponent does. That's Vanguard to me.
Yeah. I just play Shadow Paladin so I can kill stuff and then kill my opponent's stuff. And hopefully kill
And
them.
I play control decks where I actually have to pay attention to my opponent's field and have to be aware of what my opponent's thinking. But I'm aware that most people don't play that way.
But this is also a stream about Buddyfight.
Right. So what I'm saying is, in Buddyfight, it's very important to be aware of what not only what your cards do, but what your opponent's cards do. And building your deck accordingly, considering what you're going to be up against.
Yeah.
I mean, those people who prepared effectively because they knew that items are going to be big, they're the ones who shined. I mean,
Yeah.
am I wrong in that statement?
No, you're not, because we're actually in a closed center meta, with the only exceptions being is decks whose priority are weapons, such as Danger World, Dungeon World, and Hero World. So it's like everything else is pretty much closed center, except for Omni Dragons, which are just full of that good old, you hit me, I kill your friends hate.
Yeah, which actually makes me wonder, why aren't you playing that, Justin?
What?
Omni Dragons, you get to kill your opponent's stuff.
Only because it's expensive, and I've only pulled one Omni Drum pack.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of the benefit of you might not see a lot of Omni drums. Like you didn't see a lot of Aussie Dahakas for a while because it's just too much of a pain in the butt.
Yeah, it was really.
It was intentional.
Yeah, like it was like over $400 to play Aussie Dahaka.
Yeah, it was pretty expensive.
Yeah.
To me, the deck is still quite strong. It's just the draw. The 4 cards, man, that's such a blower.
The Dragon Knight Ein is actually really, really good.
I know.
Dragon Knight Iron is still
No
the best.
spoiler. I'm gonna have a deck profile for a Dragon Knight Iron going up in the next few days.
But my favorite is still Purgatory Knight Iron. Just because it's 16 damage on board, bro. It's like 16 damage.
It's still the -2 cards though. To me, is it really even worth it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the -2 cards really hurt a lot for that deck.
Yeah.
But it's like if you start second and you open up with Divine Dragon Creation, it doesn't even matter. That's
True.
the sad part.
Now, have we got any word from Mr.
Nope.
Mango?
I mean, that being the case, I mean, we can move on first to our shout out to the NBCS.
Yes, the Northeastern Buddyfight Championship Series, the NBCS.
So, for those who don't know, the NBCS is a tournament held by the folks in I guess I don't know what you call it, the New England area, but the Northeast area, since it's part of the name, where at the store called Time Warp Comics and Games, they hold, I don't know if it's going to be monthly, bi-monthly tournaments for Buddyfight. So I mean, if you're trying to get your fix, trying to find a bigger tournament scene, this is a group of guys who are much like our Dynasty Cup, trying to set up tournaments to have bigger events so that you can look forward to like being able to participate in something aside from the 1 to 2 times a year big tournaments, and hopefully for people in that area closer. But for us, it's still kind of a drive because no matter what, I feel like it's going to be like a 6-hour drive for us.
Yeah, it's still
but
like a 4 to 5 hour drive.
I do hope to get out there at least once or twice. I mean, it becomes
It's going to be
difficult.
really exciting.
What we really need to do is just kind of plan like a van pool or something again, like we do for New York. Because I mean, whenever they do their next one or next 2, if the weather's reasonable, we should try and do something like that.
Hopefully they do the next one in like February. Then I can definitely make it.
Well,
As long as
February.
I know about the date in advance.
February,
I get new toys.
New toys. Oh, when's that? What's that drops then?
Each BTO4.
What set drops then? What's in there?
I have a dirty mind. When you said new toys, I totally went south with that.
It's the Dragon set. We got
But
Star
okay,
Dragon
continue.
World, Darkness Dragon World, and Danger World.
Oh yes, Darkness
Why
Dragon
is it
World.
a dragon
I can
set
finally
and you
play
just throw in Danger
Black
World? Then?
Knight.
Because Dual Dragons. Dual Dragons are actually the main archetype for Danger World in that set.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you
So
know,
basically,
Boosie
it's a
coulda
time
just talked.
set.
Yeah.
Yes, it is Ein dot set.
I mean, we're getting reprints of the draw spells.
Or even Divine Dragon Creation.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
they
pretty
did
sure
announce
we're
that,
getting
didn't they? Yeah.
I saw Dragon Emperor Legend being posted, but I didn't because they're like all Bon Enma themed now, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty cool.
I think that means that the original artworks might retain some of their value.
Yeah. But anyway, though, before we get too distracted, the NBCS is this weekend in New York. I'll post a link to their Facebook page, so if you guys are in the area of Cedar Grove, New Jersey, you guys can probably check out their event. I think they do live stream it on Twitch too, so I mean you'll probably follow their page to find out all the information to tune into their event if you can't make it out. So I'll put the link in my video later.
Awesome.
Yup.
So I guess besides that, the only other thing besides Fifth Omnis we could talk about is the California event.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know if the more interesting thing to discuss about the California event is kind of what do you expect to see there that's different from Houston?
I'm expecting to see Wizards, Omni Modai, probably Darkness Dragon World just because it won. Hero World definitely because it's still popular. Omni Dragons if anybody's completed the deck.
I guarantee you there's going to be at least one in there.
Yeah, that's going to be one or two. Now, top, I don't know, because its top has been fluctuating, like, throughout. And I don't even know if people are playing Raging Spirits or if they're playing Raging Spirits correctly, because we haven't seen Raging Spirits top in a while. And they're actually really good now,
Yeah,
especially
that
because
always
that
been
set
pretty good.
spell. Like, that set spell totally drops Darkness Dragon World decks, because our world is so center-based now. It's like if they main deck two of those and side deck two of those, it kills the deck completely.
Which one? Which set spell?
It's a set spell with no monsters. Yeah, it's the Demon Slay clone, but no monsters can be played in the center. Yeah,
Okay.
like that kills everything with that doesn't have move. In Darkness Dragon World, we literally have like 3 monsters with move, and all of them are bad.
Yeah, I wonder though because sometimes I feel like there's regional influence on the decks that get played. Like in New York, I usually see a lot of just straight up Dragon World players. So I'm wondering because I'm only judging from how loud the people are on Facebook.
That might not be the best thing to judge by, but you know.
Yeah, but like you see a lot of deep. Juan's finally texting me.
Oh.
Stream's almost over.
Yeah.
All right, Juan.
Oh,
I
he's
had
not
so
here
many
yet,
puns prepared for him.
We know.
but like,
Yeah.
what group is over there? I know there's some hardcore deep fanatics that are over in California, right?
Yeah, I actually know Mario Torres is like a prominent deep player out there, and George Lorera, I know they like really play it, but I think George is from like Arizona, but Mario is definitely in Cali, so I'm looking to see him make top 8. I really hope so, because
Yeah.
he talks about Darkness a lot online.
Yeah, I can see deep because, like, again, they just top, so people are going to be staring extra hard at deck lists. Heroes, just because, like I said before, there's a lot of fanboys, and Heroes, I mean, by no means are they a bad deck. I mean, they're susceptible to item hate, so I would be kind of hesitant to want to play them right now.
Yeah, and that's one thing I wanted to say about the item hate is it's like you can run a lot of that stuff at like 4 or 6, but if you don't draw it, it still doesn't matter. Because I think I had that problem against you, Zach. It's like I main decked like 4 item hate cards, and then I sided in like 2 or 3 more, and I still didn't see any of it. So it's like Dungeon World still just like wiped the floor with me.
Yeah, I mean, the annoying part with some of the Dungeon World stuff is that they have 2 weapons.
Yeah, and then the
You
fact that you
rested
could
one,
link
here
attack
comes the
with
other
them.
one.
Yep, and the link attacking with Tetsuya, it's just all douchebaggery.
I love it. I knew coming in that I wrote Amino Haru is dead on my card, saying I hate that card has been the bane of my existence for a long time.
Oh my gosh. And that really kills this because, like, y'all have an 8K weapon. Danger Roll can go up to 8K, and then Kazurion starts at 8K. It's like it's so much stuff swinging for like 8K. It's really hard to play a center base Darkness Dragon World deck and a center base meta.
Yeah.
Because again, we don't have a lot of Soul Guard, and it's like our only protection of that is like Talika. For instance, like anything can poke at Talika.
There's a deck that I would really love to see top is 100 Demons, but I feel like it's just, first of all, it might be too expensive to build, and it's like it can lose if you don't get good defensive draws to the penetrate matchup.
Yeah, I think 100 Demons, I think the problem a lot of people have with, because I've actually been talking to some players that play it, is there's so much toolboxing in the deck that they don't know what to do with it. Like, literally, they're like, it's so many options, I don't know what to do. Should I focus on Thundermine? Should I focus on Beatdown? Should I focus on Size Freeze? It's like, what should you really focus on in the deck? I think that's what a lot of people are having trouble with while deck building with this.
Yeah, I mean, when depending on the direction you go, to me it always feels like you're missing at least one aspect, like being able to like control your opponent's field. I mean, if you're a control, you have trouble finishing because you don't play a lot of weapons. But if you try and go aggro, you're susceptible to control.
Yep, that's true.
You have an opportunity cost. Like there's always a step off. There's no real key build for it yet.
But they're janky, so that's why they're fun as heck to play.
Yeah, never know what may come out of a deck like that.
Yeah. I can't wait to play the deck that I built to hate on all of you.
Bring the hate!
It's just,
what is this hatred, Zach?
It's an Anson / Cositas deck.
Take my gauge, I don't use it for shit anyway!
I'll take your gauge, I'll take your weapons, I'll take your creatures, I'll hide your wives, hide your kids.
You're a bad person.
And I was inspired to build this deck by watching some of the Japanese channels, and I was like, man, this deck just hate on Kaiserion so bad.
I need something like that. You see Masood's face.
It was so worth it. Oh my god, look who joined us.
Holy crap, Juan actually showed up.
After 40 minutes of the live stream.
It's the one and only Juan Mango.
Hey, I got my playoff game tomorrow, guys. Come on now.
Wait, you told us you were gonna be home like an hour ago.
I understand that, but I got other things I'm doing too. So, but I'm here now.
Do you think 20 minutes is enough time for you to talk about Fifth Omnis now that you're here?
Probably.
Well, first we got to do a quick introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the chosen Juan Mango. He's the guy who started the DMV Dynasty Cup. He is someone who's been a very big contributor on YouTube and in person, and someone who I personally consider like a mentor. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only chosen Juan, the Mango.
He spent like 5 minutes just reciting these over and over again.
That makes sense.
All right, guys, how you doing? I'm Juan Mango, as everybody already knows. So, am I just gonna talk about Omni Lords and that's it?
Give an introduction.
We want to hear about your fifth Omni build. What you like about it, how it fares against other things, and what you think it's going to do to the meta at this point, and if you think it's going to be a really strong force in tournaments to come.
Okay, so I've only played against a couple of
Well,
things.
first talk about the deck. Like, just talk
Hold on,
about.
first, can I say a few things about Omni Dragons?
Yes, go ahead.
Screw Omni Dragons.
Mm.
Screw Dungeon Knights.
Mm.
Screw Omni Modai.
Mm.
Screw Kaiserion.
Mm.
Screw Dragon World in its entirety.
Mm.
Screw Danger World in its entirety.
Mm.
Screw Raging Spirits.
Mm.
Okay, you can carry on.
Now that we've gotten that salt out of the way,
Somebody pull out the salt, please. Hey, can we get some salt here? Because this guy, golly.
Yeah. I actually had to sign off. It's been great, guys, but my friends are bothering me because I'm
Yeah,
he
telling them.
literally just waited for you to get here once so we could say that before he left.
Yeah, screw Omni Dragons, screw Omni Dragons, screw Omni Dragons, screw Omni Dragons. I hope they burn in hell. Bye.
Ooh. Ouch.
All right, so yeah, kind of just run through the skeleton, your idea of the skeleton for the deck one, because I know you have a build that you've been working on right now, and it's, I don't know, to give people insights. First of all, they can go check out your channel because I know you have a 5th Omnilord deck profile on your channel already. But for those who haven't seen it yet, you give them a rundown of the cards that you're putting in your deck.
Need more lighting here. Okay, so with fifth Omnilords, we want to go ahead and get make sure we have cards that let us take damage, so then we can go ahead and get some of the effect offs. Now the big key is to getting effect off when it's your opponent's turn and you're able to do it. To do them really quickly. You don't have to wait on response, or you don't have to wait on anything. You can just go ahead and activate them, so then you can get those pluses. Because at times, your opponent wants to destroy something or try to get rid of it, and usually you're like, oh, I'm waiting for him to attack so I can redirect the attack. So, there's some cards that do that, and then there's other cards that just let you take a damage. One of the big cards that I like is, let me see here. Sorry, I don't have this all prepared, but oh wait, Drago Change. So Drago Change basically does it's Drago Bond, but you don't get to gain 2 life. So you take a life and then you counter, and then you target a 5th Omnilord and it doesn't get destroyed. So a great thing what this card does is, like, first thinking it's like, okay. To me, Kaiserion is the biggest thing, or dungeon is a big thing too, because they need their weapon. So as soon as they equip their weapon or they get to that play, you can play this card, take a damage, and if you have the grade 1 that destroys a weapon, boom, you can pay a gauge and then destroy the weapon. So it's just something that you can activate at any time. There's no like, you can only activate at a certain point. So that's one of the big cards that I like. The next one is.
Well, first I want to interject real quick, Juan.
Yes.
So, some people might not even know that why you're taking damage. So, I mean, do you want to give a rundown of the cards that the 5th Omni creatures that are doing all this like attack stuff? Because I know people are vaguely aware of Drum. You just said something about item hate. Do you have to have a card on the field for this?
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm here acting like a rookie. All right. Okay, so the grade 1 lineup that I'm running right now is the 5th Omnilord. This one here, Sandstaff. So Sandstaff, what it does is when you take a damage, you get to move it to the center, and basically when it gets destroyed, you gain a life and you gain a gauge. You're going to be using a lot of gauge in this deck, and you're going to be using a lot of life, or taking a lot of life. So the 1 life and the gauge really help out with just mitigating a lot of the just negative effects of this deck. Of you're using a lot of gauge, and then you're taking a lot, and you're using a lot of your life. And it's great just because if somebody tries to overrun you, and you have this card on the field, you're able to take the damage, move it to the center, and protect yourself as long as they don't have penetrate. The second card is Fire Sword. So Fire Sword, what he does is when you take damage, you can only use it once per turn. When you take damage, you gain a gauge. The great thing about this card is just the attack. It has a 5,000 attack with two critical. You gain the gauge just because you're able to use it for other stuff. You're gonna need the gauge, for either your impact or just some of the cards that need to use gauge. Now the big guys, the key grade 1s in the 5th Omnilord decks are gonna be Wimbo, which destroys grade 1s, and this I can't even pronounce this guy's name, but the one that destroys items, the item hate guy. So with the item hate, basically when you have these guys on the field, if you take damage at any point, you can pay a gauge and destroy either a size 1 with Wimbo, or you get to destroy an item. Now with the item, it's just I play him at 4 just because you're able to play it multiple times. So if Dungeon sets up both of their weapons and you take 2 damage and you take 2 attacks and you deal 2 damage to yourself, you're able to pay it once and then pay it again once you take more damage and then destroy 2 of their items. Or even Kaiserion. You're able to, destroy Kaiserion or take one of his soul out and stuff like that. Because I know he was the big meta and whatever, so I would say these are the big 2. I would say have them at 4, 3 to 4. Then for my grade 2s, I have Drum, since everybody knows what Drum does.
If you take the damage.
I'm sorry. If you don't, yes. He's a 6,000 attack, 3 crit, 5,000 defense. Yes, Soul Guard. Now, when you're taking damage, when you're at 6 damage or less, if you take damage, you can destroy an opponent's monster on the field. Doesn't matter what size it is, you can just destroy it. So this is a very good card. A lot of these cards, your opponents are going to want to attack. They're going to attack the card because they don't want to deal with all the craziness or all the effects that are going to be going on when you're taking damage. So a deck that's very aggressive, like let's say Dungeon, where they just want to attack you, you might slow them down because they're like, okay, well, he has a Drum and he has the weapon hate, the item hate guy out there. So next thing you know, they're attacking your monsters, where that's protecting your life points. And at times you're like, come on, attack me, come on. Just hit me. Don't worry about Drum. Don't worry about the other guy. Just attack me. And it puts your opponent in a position that they're like, okay, well, now I'm going to have to attack Drum, and I'm going to have to attack this guy for a couple of turns. I remember the game that we had, Zach, where you went ahead and I had 3 drums in my hand, but you kept attacking Drum every single turn just because you didn't want to get into that situation that your monsters are going to get destroyed, because you have 2 monsters. If you decide to attack with 1 monster, then I'm just going to destroy the one that hasn't attacked yet.
And that's exactly the same reason why, after a while, I just started linking attack with everything.
Exactly, and then it puts your opponent. But here's the thing: you start link attack with everything, then I hopefully I have shields.
Shield check.
Exactly. So that's it can really put your opponent in a situation where like, okay, well, let me just link attack and hope for the best. And if you shield, then that's basically their turn. So yeah, so Drum basically, and great thing about Drum is if you're at 7 life and you go into 6, you get the ability because you're able to. I believe it. You guys can help me here if I'm wrong or whatever, but it goes. You take damage, you go down to damage, and then it checks for the ability.
Yeah, that's what I think they did in the TV show. So
exactly. So if Drum did it in the TV show, then if Gal did it in the TV show, then it's all good because Drago energy.
So I guess what we've described right now is kind of the cornerstones of the 5th Omni decks. I mean, 5th Omnis right now, when you take a damage with Drum going into 6 life, you destroy a creature on the field. With the other guy, there's no life break requirement. You take a damage, you destroy an item,
But
and
that
then the
costs a
third.
gauge.
Oh, it costs.
It costs 1 gauge.
Oh, no, Drum is free. That's the thing.
Yeah, Drum is free, which is really annoying. But the item hate is 1 gauge, and then there's a creature hate, the size 1 creature
Size
hate.
1. Windbow.
That's 1 gauge too, or?
That's 1 gauge.
Yeah. So those are I guess the cornerstones of the fifth Omni is being able to control your opponent's field right there. And then what you were describing initially was all the creature protection. So when they're going after your drums, they're going after your item hate, you protect your creature by taking 1 damage and then blowing up their field.
Yep, blowing up their field. If you have drum out there, and then if you're at 7, you have drum out there, and you have the weapon hate out there. Your opponent sets up his field, and he's ready to go into attack phase or whatever, and then he attacks. Let's say he attacks your drum. Drago change. Drago change protects your monsters. You take a damage, then everything starts going banana because all these abilities are not counters, so they don't count towards the counter. You know, a big thing that I had with somebody is like, oh, why are you able to activate Drum's ability and this guy's ability? You know, you only get one of them. No, you get to activate both of them.
Yeah, because their ability goes on the stack as soon as you take the damage, so you get to resolve them if you want to.
Yeah.
If you want to, you get to resolve them, yeah. And, of course, I'm going to resolve them.
Yeah, why wouldn't you resolve them?
Then the next one is Magical Blade. Basically, this guy is if you are getting attacked. Now, the wording is kind of different with me. I don't understand if it's me getting attacked or if it's him getting attacked. I'm still iffy about the wording. I don't know if it's changed or anything like that. But my understanding is if I am getting attacked,
pretty sure that's
I get to pay a gauge and draw a card. Am I guessing? No? Anybody?
I think you're right, but I mean,
You're right.
I have to look at the card again, but I don't think it's that confusing. I think the confusion for you came with the whole they attack him and then it redirected to you. I think that's where the confusion came in, right?
Yeah. With Drago Guard.
Yeah, I don't remember what the resolution of that was.
No, with Drago Guard it works because I guess the redirect, because if they attack them and then it redirects to me, I'm getting attacked and then I do get to pay the gauge and draw it.
Yeah.
So last time I checked with certain people I checked, but yeah. And then the next one is Soul Returner. Soul Returner is such a great card. For 1 gauge, you get to have a size 2 monster on the field, and you get to call a size 1 from your drop. So basically, it's like a pay 1 gauge Monster Reborn or Call of the Haunted, which, you know, for us, it's drop manipulation, which is great because we never really had that in the sense of a monster getting another one free. So, you know, like Dungeon has all their stuff to get stuff back from the grave and then or from the drop and then be able to play it again. This is great because you might just top deck this where now you had 1 monster, you pay 1 gauge, boom, you're back in the game. Now you have 2 monsters.
All right. So I guess I'm going to start curbing the conversation here because it's getting close to our end time here. So.
Sorry.
I actually have one question for you, Juan. I was just wondering if you run or side the card Dragon Bind Attack, or have you heard of it at all?
Which one's
Go ahead and tell me what the card does.
It's a Dragon World spell. Cost is pay 1 gauge. When you activate it, you draw a card, and then during your turn, during any battle in which cards on your field link attack, link attack your opponent's
Not
monster.
in this deck. Not in this deck. In my drum deck, yes.
Mm-hmm.
In my drum deck, yes, because I played it with the Crimson.
Yeah. Your opponent cannot
There's the
use
Crimson
or
guy
cast a
who
counter.
links attack. You link attack with the weapon,
Mhm.
and then you're able to stand your weapon up again. Yes, in that deck, yes. In this deck, I don't really see it, just because I don't tend to link attack a lot with this weapon because there's no reason for me to link attack a monster in this one because I'm destroying everything on the field.
Mm.
Now, what I do say is with this deck is that I change the impact. I don't run the drum impact because it's not live. This just works great in a drum deck. The one that I use is the 5th Omni Lord Divine Art Howling Storm, just because you're able to pay 3 gauge and destroy a card on the field, any card on the field, and then deal 2 damage to your opponent. With everything being with all this destruction, you're just able to like wither your opponent down. If your opponent just takes 1 damage and loses 3 cards by you just taking 1 damage, it's like it changes the whole game for them
So-
because
for you right now, Juan, you've been playtesting the deck for a few weeks now, right?
Yep.
Of the matchups, what are kind of the most annoying matchups for fifth Omnis for you right now?
I would say still Kazarian in a way, just because if he gets it going, it's just really tough to deal because they don't have anything on the field, and Danger, just because if they get a soul and they have the bird or whatever, if they get anything like that I have to multiple destroy, then that becomes an important. And also, when I want to take damage, they usually produce bigger damage. When I want to take like 2 to 3 damage, that's fine. But when they're like attacking for 5, 6, and I want to take the damage to use my ability, but again, I don't want to take 5 or 6 just to get, just to destroy one monster or something like that. Not to destroy an item, I guess I'm gonna have to take it. But Danger and Dungeon, I don't really like Dungeon. It just depends on who gets there first. You know what I'm saying? If they get all their weapons, if they get everything set up first before you do, it's like it's really hard. This is one of the decks that I would say it's great going first. I know in Buddyfight we want to go second because we want to set our field up and we want to attack multiple times. But you even see it on the show where he calls out 2 monsters on the field and he's going first, and he even attaches a weapon in it, and you're like wondering why you're gonna call all these monsters out when I can just destroy them all at once. But if you're able to stall your opponent by putting the item hate out there and Wimbo out there, now your opponent has to think, okay, I can't really put a size 1 out there, and if I put a weapon out there, it's probably going to get destroyed. So they want to get rid of these things before they can start putting all their items. Because if they get one item and they don't see another item throughout the match, and they see the item hate guy out there, it's really tough for them to justify putting it out there when they know I can possibly just at any time play something and destroy it.
Okay, so still Kaiserion,
Yeah.
and Danger Roll.
Danger Roll, yeah. I don't really see Raging Spirit is not an issue, just because that's great that you got your Raging Spirit. Go ahead and attack me. You attack me, and I'm just gonna destroy your guy.
Okay, so I guess closing out, Brand, do you have anything to comment on fifth Omnis?
Just side in his Modai. Just blow up the sides. And just punch for damage. Just punch him hard.
Yeah, Armor Knight as Modai is super hate against the fifth Omni deck that doesn't play anything in the center.
Armor Knight as Modai hates on everything. If it doesn't call it to the center, it hates on it.
Please make sure you play the new shield, the Dragon Lord shield, because it's amazing. I don't know why. I don't know. I just seen some people talk about it, and like not anybody in particular, but I talked to like other people at locals or just whatever, and they're like, oh, I don't want to take a damage, but it can be nullified.
Plus, you can still have Green Dragon shields or Drago Bonds if you want to play them.
And taking the damage sets off all of your effects at that point.
Yeah.
So well, not just in the fifth armor. I mean, in any deck. Do not play. Oh, real quick. Do not play the fist. Do not play that new fist. It doesn't work good with it. It does not.
It's because you're negating all the damage you would set off your fist.
It's great for like one turn, but if you get it early and you attach it, and then you're negating all your effects to get everything going, like it doesn't work. I'm like it blows my mind how bad like some games were for me, because I would put the fist and I'm like, yeah, now I can wait. I can't take a damage. Damn it, I can't destroy this, and then I just take damage.
I guess with that deck, though, instead of playing the one where you take a damage, protect your creature, you can just play Drago Bonds or whatever.
Yeah, you can play Drago Bonds and then try to do that. But I think with this deck, you have to take damage. Now, there has to be a counteractive to taking damage and everything, so you got to kind of find some cards to maybe gain some life. Like I say, Drago Bond is big just because you're gonna protect your creatures. Now, the downside about it is if your opponent catches onto this, and then they're like, okay, well, if he's just protecting his creature, I'm just gonna link attack to the center every time, and you don't see a shield. So it's like a counter balance. It's like you have to have shields and then just stuff to protect your monsters. That's basically your spells in the deck. Is protect your monsters and protect yourself. That's it. Nothing crazy. No like no craziness really. No other cards or whatever. It's just shields and protect your monsters. That's all you need for this deck. Nothing. I wouldn't really go out and be like, oh well, let me test this out and let me test this out. I would just say shields and protect your monster. And you can put as many shields in this deck. I feel like 12 shields, totally fine.
All right. So and then. I know I've been kind of stealing the emceeing-ness away from you, Alex, but...
Yeah, just a little bit, but then again, we didn't really have a chance to coordinate very well. Hopefully in the future we'll have things better coordinated. This has been all of us here on the DMV Future Fighters live stream. Thank you, Juan Mango, for being our guest of honor. Hopefully we'll have you on here more often. And,
yeah, once playoffs is done, and the season is done, I'll be more regular. Also, I just want to say is, hopefully soon I'll have a date for the Buddyfight DMV, and me and Zach been talking. We have a couple of announcements that we're gonna be putting out soon about just making Dynasty Cup better for you guys. And no, I saw that. Do not. I hate that card. That's so cheap. So cheap. But anyway, yes, we are going to have a little bit more stuff for you guys in Dynasty Cup, and me and Zach here have been talking about how to make it better. Stop it.
Just for you.
Oh, I hate you.
So, in closing, Fifth Omni is super annoying. From what we can see, was it Danger World and Hero World were still pretty good matchups against it, but I think a big inhibitor to seeing it top might be the price tag that's associated with the deck, just like Ein and Yamigeto decks.
And to tell you the truth, it's not. I wouldn't say it's a top tier deck and all of that. I wouldn't really put it at. I'd put them in the mid range. I put it. It's like right there. It can be something. But if you don't get the pieces right away, if you don't get your stuff going, if you don't get the right grade ones or whatever, and there's certain matchups that still, if they don't have a weapon, then that grade 1 is useless. And if they're like a grade 3 deck that just runs no item and runs no grade 1s, then like most of these cards are dead. Most of your monsters are dead, and you're not able to do anything. And then you're waiting for Drum to finally show up, and you're waiting for you to be down at 6 life or less for you to actually start activating abilities and stuff like that.
One last question for you, Juan. Do you run Drago Solid? That's the card that's a counter plus 5k plus counter attack to a monster on your left or right that's in battle.
I was running it a little bit, but then I decided to take it out just for Dragobond because I needed life. And also Dragobond does a great ability with Sandstaff. So Sandstaff, you remember, you go to the center. So you take the damage that you're gonna take. So your opponent attacks you, you take the damage. You play Dragobond on Sandstaff, move him to the center, and then next time he would get destroyed. Or even if he's on the left or right and your opponent decides to attack it, play Dragobond, put it on him. He attacks it, it gets destroyed, it stays on the field though. You gain 3 life and you gain a gauge.
Right.
Bam.
So I think we're gonna close out the live stream on this. As always, guys, thank you for watching. It'll be up on my channel along with links to Juan Mango's channel, Justin's channel, Justice League Swag. As long as I'll try and put up the deck profile that Levi had on his channel, Team Budget Ein. I mean, the Jets suck, so I really don't know what you're pointing at.
Shut up.
But as always, future fighters, thanks for watching, guys.
And like I always say, I'm not the best buddy fighter in the world, but I'm all right though. Thanks for watching.
All right, thanks, guys.
Remember, no hate, no salt. We all get bad hands, and it's just keep. The important part is keep moving on.
Brian, get a YouTube channel.
Too much work.
All right, guys. I'll see you later.